Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everyone who tunes in, Zim, Zay, whatever your association affiliation is, whatever noun, pronoun, and or adjective you might be. Welcome to the Sports Prediction Show. It's known as the Bold Prediction Sports Media Podcast. He is Mr. KC from the 813. I am that dude with the beard. And ladies and gentlemen, it's the NFC East. We're
Ooh,
talking NFL action. We're talking schedules, preliminary schedules. These things are fluid. They might change, but we're talking about right now. We're talking about right now. Start tomorrow, knees in the grass, dirt on your shirt tomorrow. We're talking right now, not tomorrow. So, Mr. KC, regale us. What's going on?
well, you know what it is. We're talking probably one of the best divisions in football, guaranteed in the NFC at the very minimum. We've
At the
seen three
least.
playoff teams, out of them, and almost four last season. It was unbelievable what the NFC East did last season. They were putting in work.
Without a shadow of a doubt, and we might see a repeat of kind of things
Yeah,
this
and
next
it's
season coming up. We'll have to see. So we're gonna go over the schedules here for the NFC
it'll be
East
interesting for
here.
sure.
Oh yeah, definitely interesting. And we're gonna find out who's gonna reign supreme as of right now. Preliminary. Mr. KC, who you want to start us with? What's the first team we're gonna dive into, brother?
I think we might go south to north here. We might start out with them boys way down in Dallas, somehow in the East, and take a look at what them boys are
Hmm.
looking like. What Dak Prescott could be cooking up.
Hmm. Or what he couldn't be. I got you. We're here. We're gonna find out. We're about to see. Cowboys. Good old Dallas. Good old Jerry and the boys. Let's see. Let me get my list together, folks. Because we're going to
Yeah, and
see.
it's kind of interesting. Kind of interesting start there. Nice division matchup.
It is. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we have the Dallas Cowboys starting off their season against the New York football Giants. And I would be remiss, ladies and gentlemen, not to tell the truth here. And the truth is, Dallas starts 0-1. They lose to Vanilla Vic and the Giants week one of this
Mm.
NFL season. And it's just kind of what it is. I mean, matchup wise here, I don't see anything that really stands out on the Cowboys side here to really think make me think the Giants would lose this game. I'm going with Vanilla Vic Giants. Let's go. Football is better when the Giants are good.
I'm actually going to lean with the Cowboys here. I think this is a fireworks matchup. It'll be a great Sunday night game. Talk about a way to kick off the season. I just think the Cowboys they're a strong defense, all around team, and I like the boys to start the season versus the Giants.
Okay. No argument with that here. It should be fireworks. I'm leaning toward the other way. Saquon and Vanilla Vic with the addition. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see when we get there. Week two, September  17th, and unfortunately, Cowboy fans, you start 0-2 this season because you have to play Aaron and the New York Jets. And you thought you already had your hands tied with one New York team week one, then you got to go and face the other one, and you start 0-2. But don't worry, there's always a brighter thing around the corner. Mr. KC, who you got in the matchup?
I'm going to join you with the Jets pick. We're going to have to lean with the quarterback matchup with A Rod versus Dak Prescott. A Rod's got a lot of talent and probably the most talent around him he's had in a few years. If you look at the collective of a group, solid defense on both sides. This is a fireworks game. I'll definitely be tuning in for this one for sure.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, definitely gonna watch that. But Dallas, you get some reprieve in week 3. You get to play better than the bye, the Arizona Cardinals. And by God, you pick up your first win of the season in blowout fashion. You finally get things churning on offense and defense. You pick up your first win of the season, and you're looking strong.
Yeah, this is an easy W in my books. Put a lot of money on the Cowboys on the money line for that one. That seems like a lock of the week early in the year. That's
Oh
a pretty
yeah.
easy game for them.
But now, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to week 4, we got Dallas coming in at 1-2, and they're facing a juggernaut New England Patriot team. And I'm sorry, Cowboys fans, you dropped to 1-3 here at
Mm,
this meeting against Mac Jones
mm.
and the boys. And it's just kind of and the boys. It's just what it is, Dak. I'm sorry, you got to go against the Pro Bowler Mac Jones and those Patriots. Bill Belichick, coaching advantage, talent advantage at the wide receiver position. Um, I'm going with the Patriots.
The only advantage in this game for the Patriots is the coaching, and that is not going to be nearly enough from them
How many
boys stomping all over the Patriots. I
how
was
many
actually
champion
kind of
receivers the Cowboys got?
champ. Oh my! You're not going to sit here and talk about Juju Smith
Huh?
like he's just
The
some kind of
playmaker, the difference
monster.
maker,
The guy that didn't get 1,000 yards, that guy with Pat
right? Because Pat
Mahomes.
spread, right? Because Pat said, "Well, nobody getting 1,000." Steph Kelsey. We all knew that. Don't try to do
Ooh,
that now.
yeah.
He got the most out of
Okay.
anybody else.
Well, this is another game that I would heavily bet for the Cowboys.
Ooh, I don't know about the head. Don't listen. Hey, folk, y'all gonna have to decide by the end. I wouldn't do that. Patriots gonna win that game, baby, and it, and
Mm,
it ain't even gonna be close.
mm,
It's gonna be a shocker. So,
mm.
so he's got Dallas at 2-2. It sounds like, and I got
Three
them
and
at
one.
1-3. Oh, three and
I'm at
one. Oh,
yeah. We're like polar opposites right currently.
ooh, yeah, we sure are. And moving on to the next week, Dallas, you get to play the San Francisco 49ers. And at this point here, I don't care who's playing quarterback. The Cowboys are going to win this game because they absolutely need to because they're 2-3 at the moment. So they win this game, tight game against the Niners here, defensive struggle, and I feel like it's going to come down to a play that either Purdy or Lance isn't going to be ready to make, but Dak will be ready. He'll be in that situation. It'll be one of those kind of moments. Dak will step up in the last moments to win the game for him, some way, somehow. We got the boys 2-3. Who you got, Mr. Casey?
Oh, I'm actually going to lean with the Niners on this one. I think the Niners have one of the most well balanced rosters in all of football. And as long as they have one or two, or maybe, they've got three legitimate quarterbacks. So no matter how far down, or really kind of two, I'm not really a Sam Darnold guy, but they've got some quarterback depth to at least make them to week 5. I think that I'm going to lean towards the Niners.
Look, nothing wrong with that because they could win that game. It really could go either way. It's a coin flip. I'm gonna go with the short thing because I think Dak is better than all three quarterbacks presented presently. Uh, moving on here, and Cowboys fans rejoice because you get 2 wins back to back when you face the Los Angeles Chargers. Uh, Justin Herbert and the boys ain't ready for that game. I talked about it when we did the AFC West. Good win for the Cowboys. Who do you got in this game?
I think you said it best. You have two of them back to back. I'm going to go with the Cowboys over the Chargers and the Cowboys over the Rams.
Ooh, yeah, and I'm inclined to agree with you on that one here. They definitely beat the Rams here. No questions about it, really. So the Cowboys are what 3-3 on the season now.
But you've
What do
got
you
them
have for
four
that?
and three, and I'm at
Oh
five
yeah,
and
four and
two.
three. Yes, sir. And This is where it starts to get sticky. Are those Eagles really what they thought they were made of? And they're going to have to play the Cowboys. And you know what? More than likely, the Eagles will win this game, moving the Cowboys to 4-4. Because in classic Cowboy fashion, they'll cowboy this thing. So I got them at 4-4 on the season, Mister
Yeah, I think I'm
Casey.
going to join you on this Eagles over the Cowboys pick. That's going to have me at 5-3. I just think the Eagles have a that's a tough division matchup.
It is definitely, especially for the Cowboys. Next game they got here, and it doesn't get any easier. You got to play Vanilla Vic and the Giants again, and this is the first sweep of the season. The Giants beat the Cowboys again, and it's not going to be a
Mm.
shocker. It's just the better team.
Yeah, and I think they split too. I'm gonna go with the Giants. I don't think the Cowboys sweep the Giants this year, but I do think they end up splitting. So I'm gonna go with the Giants on this game.
No doubt about it. No problem with that. No problem with that. Next game you have is another blessed assurance win to keep you in the thick of things. You get to play the Panthers, and you pick up a dub there. So you
Yeah,
got a little more, you got a little momentum going here, and it's looking okay. Like it's going to be just a real okay season for you guys so far. The way it's shaping up, because the next game you got to play, you play the Commanders, and you know what? I actually think you guys will clip the Commanders in this particular game, and you'll build you just a nice little couple game streak. So that'll move them what to where I got them at now, 6-4.
6-5.
6-5. Who the? Oh yeah, I forgot about the other L2, the Giants. I didn't update my list. They are at 6-5, and you have them what now?
7-4.
7-4. We're almost there, ladies and gentlemen, because it's gonna happen. Because the next game they have to play Geno Smith and the boys, and the Cowboys move to 6-6 on the season.
Mm.
I'm going with the better coaching matchup, the better wide receiver room, and the comeback player of the year, Geno Smith. It's I think like, it's the Seahawks game to lose. That's why I got them winning this game. So Dallas, you're at even 6-6 right now, Mister Casey.
This might be the toughest game on their schedule to try to predict, in my opinion. The
Hmm.
Seahawks have some monster amount of talent building up there. They took that Russell trade and just stockpiled
Eight.
talent.
They ate
And,
as good as the Texans did off Deshaun. I
mm,
told you. We talked about it.
mm.
Eating good.
And I think I'm gonna go
Come
Cowboys.
on.
Yeah, I'm
What?
going
Really?
Cowboys. Yeah, it's
I'm so surprised, folks. I'm really surprised because I for sure thought you was gonna be with me on with the Hawks on this one. I for sure thought.
I
But
was teeter
okay.
tottering for a minute, but I'm looking at this Sunday night in Dallas. Jerry Jones isn't going to allow a loss in
Dude, you
that
know that
building.
man, it happens all the time for them,
It,
especially
looking at this record, we definitely
I was
see
about
some losses. Look here, I'm not afraid to give the Cowboys a loss when the loss is due,
oh.
but I'm going to lean Jerry on this one. I feel like the consensus pick will be the Seahawks, and for that reason, I'm going Cowboys. I just see that being one of those Vegas games that ensures the Cowboys win.
Gotcha. Well, boys, I got you at 6-6. You lose this game, unfortunately, but there's some light coming around the horizon because I think you're about to go on a streak, Dallas. You get the Eagles again, and this is a game you win. You split with the Eagles. You don't get swept this time around. You move on to 7-6. Mr. KC, who do you got in this game?
I'm going to join you. I don't see the Eagles sweeping the Cowboys this year, and probably not the Giants.
Right.
So I gotta choose a game for the Eagles to lose, and I think this is going to be the one for me.
Okay. And Dallas fans, be hopeful. Like I said, you got brighter corners coming. You guys, after that, after a win against Philadelphia, you get to play the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen and Philip Rivers, Stephon Diggs, and who's the running back out there? I keep forgetting now. Um,
I'm not sure who they're
I think
using
I'm gonna
as a
go
running back
ahead.
this year.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and go with Dallas on this one. Um, they need the win. Buffalo's already going to be out of playoff contention by then. So Dallas, you move to 8-6 to continue your playoff hopes. Who you got, Mister KC?
I'm going to join you here. I'm taking Cowboys over Bills too, especially this late in the year. The only part about this game that I do not like for the Cowboys is that it's a December 17th game in Buffalo,
Right.
which is a terrible place to be. As a Floridan, I just the ideal of it disgusts me. It just even thinking about being in Buffalo in December. So that's the only part that makes me
Gotcha.
nervous. But the Cowboys got a run game, and I think I'm going to lean with
Yeah.
Pollard and go with the
Yeah.
boys.
And I can expect classic Josh Allen. He'll muff this somehow. Trust me. He'll give it up. Um, Next game, Dallas, like I said, a lot of reprieves coming. You get to play the Miami Dolphins, and you stack 2 wins back to back, well, 3 wins in a row. You move to 9-6 after you beat Miami on December 24th. What a Christmas gift to Jerry Jones by making his team 9-6. Who you got, Mister KC?
Mm, I believe I'm going Dolphins. I think the Dolphins win that one. It's a Miami game,
Hmm.
Christmas Eve or something like that. Give me the only thing that makes me nervous about picking the Dolphins here is are
Who's
they
going
going
to
to
play
have a
quarterback?
quarterback in December
Mm-mm.
24th? Is that really you know what? Actually, let me take that back. I talked myself out of that pick just by the date. Let's go Cowboys over the fence. I can't believe I just did that to myself.
No, I
Uh,
understand, man. Logic sets in. You got to go with it. Next game we got here, and like I said, Cowboys fans, you get to rejoice, man. You go on a streak. You get to play the Detroit Lions, and you win this game, keeping your playoff hopes alive. You're moving to 10-6 on the season right now, Mister
yeah,
KC. Who do you got?
yeah. I think this one will be interesting, and I really kind of want to go the Lions. I truly kind of do. But if I learned
I know
anything
that
last
love
year,
affair.
picking the Lions is a terrible decision. And just because of knowing not to go down that road, I am going to go with the Cowboys over the Lions.
And I can't say that I don't blame you. So there's that. And last game of the season, Cowboys fans, and this is the one that hinges a lot. And I think that you lose this game. You finish 10-7 on the season because I think you split with the Commanders. I don't see you beating them twice. The Commanders are also fighting for a playoff spot this time of year, and you finish 10-7, and it may be good enough to get you in. We'll see. Mr. KC, who do you got in the last game of the season for the Cowboys?
I'm going with the Cowboys. I think they sweep the Commanders this year pretty easily.
Ooh, okay. He said pretty easily.
Pretty easily. This is actually, I feel like I went a smidge high here, but it is what it is.
10-7, I think that's about Dallas ceiling.
Yeah,
10
you went
wins.
10-7, and that sounds more accurate than the 12-5 that I have.
Yeah, you're
But I mean,
ridiculous,
that's
man.
just the way it broke down. That was not the. I actually might
You
have even have
you
said
gave
nine and
them
eight.
some wins. You
Yeah,
gave them some wins that I don't think that they're gonna get, but I'm with you, man. Look, this is preliminary. It's fluid. We'll see. We'll see as the bottle empties where we end up.
yeah, and that's. I just can't believe that is actually where I ended up. That is a crazy spot to be for the Cowboys. That's the playoffs. They're making the playoffs. I feel like either one of
I
our
don't know.
predictions hitting is a playoff team. 10-7 will
It's
probably get them
close.
there.
Maybe wild card.
Yeah, yeah, maybe it's, and I'm pretty sure, it really depends on looking at the Eagles and the Giants schedules if who's going to win this division at this point, in my opinion.
Mm. No, for sure. We're going to see this is the race for number one, honestly, because it's only between those three, and Dallas finishing at 10-7 ain't going to cut it, in my opinion. So
Mm, maybe in that NFC, I don't know. I think it gets them a wild card spot. Maybe not the first one, but guaranteed probably at least the second one.
maybe, man, because we might get what I thought we was going to get last year, all four NFC East teams in the playoffs. We'll see, because I'm a little bit from the spirit of it. It sounds I'm a little bit higher on these Commanders than you are. I think
Yeah,
Howell's a
I'm
good
guessing
fit at
so.
quarterback, and then if not, they got Jacoby Brissett. They got a lot of guys who can play it. Don't look like Jacoby Brissett can ball. He can
He's
ball.
serviceable. He's proven himself to be at
Yeah,
least serviceable. I'm not gonna.
yeah.
I hated
He
on
can get them
Jacoby
to the
Brissett before
playoffs.
the season last year, and I
Hmm.
will admit to eating crow. He proved himself better to be than what I had imagined. So let's
Yeah,
talk about these Commanders. Let's pull them up.
yeah. Let's dive on into Washington. Let's take a look here. Let's see where we're going, Washington. Because I got high hopes for you here. I'm high on you because you only got better, honestly. The only question, what has been a question, is quarterback. But is Hal going to really be the guy to take you forward? We're going to see. And lucky for you guys, I see your first week's matchup, and I'm
Mm,
confident saying you're starting the season off 1-0. Huh.
that is a
I don't. I ain't
guaranteed
even got to
one and
explain
zero, and I'm even gonna go
it.
further. No, there's
I'm,
no explanation
I'm going
needed.
further with you
All we
now
got to
that I'm
say is the
looking.
Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm there with you.
Two
I
and
got
zero.
three wins
It is
lined up
two and
for you.
zero.
2-0. Write it up.
Uh,
Already,
yeah,
I got them
we're
three
at
and
two and
zero.
zero.
We can talk about this
Yeah,
third one, but I got them at 3 and
yeah,
0.
we got to. The Broncos is easy work for the Commanders. Let's go ahead and bring
Hmm.
up the Bills first. Commanders week 3. I'm
And
gonna
I
go
think
with the Bills.
I'm going Commanders because I did that on the Bills list. I'm
I
definitely
believe
going
you did.
Commanders. Yeah, dude, they got them last year. They can get them again.
It could
Now this is
happen.
where, yeah, and this is where it gets sticky. You move to 3-1 on the season because the Eagles ain't playing that. So
Mhm.
they're probably
Right,
gonna you might get swept by them this year. We're gonna see. But then again, if last year shows us anything, anything is possible. Even if you don't have Chad Henne. Uh, so I got the Commanders 3-1 on the season, definitely losing to the Eagles. Moving on the next week, and this is a week that I really think is going to be a firework match in itself. But I also have the Commanders losing this game, unfortunately, to drop to 3-2. Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears take care of business because that's another team I can't wait to talk about. I'm excited about. But luckily for the Commanders, you move on to arguably who I think is the fifth worst team in the NFL. You get to play the Falcons. So you move
exactly.
back on to 4-2. You know what I'm saying? So you
Right.
got another win right there. You're 4-2. You're feeling good. Things are great. Can't really
I've
be
got them
too
at three
mad,
and three, but still not terrible.
but still not terrible. Now, this is where it gets sticky. Like I said, there's a lot of sticky points in some of these things. You got to play Vanilla Vic next. And it's going to be an L, but you're going to be
Right.
okay. You're going to be okay. You're moving to
No, you're
four
not.
and three. I'm talking metaphorically going forward
Oh,
because
okay.
you really got three L's in a row lined up. You're going to lose to the Eagles again, and then
Yeah.
Mac Jones and the Patriots. And at this point, you're 4-5. This is why I say you're okay because you're
And I'm
4-5.
currently at 3 and 6.
Oof. Yeah, I'm saying you're 4-5 at this point. But
Started
this is
off hot.
where, yeah, no, but this is where things start to get, really chippy and it
Ugly.
turns around. I believe you pick up the win over Seattle and you move to 5-5.
Whoa!
Oh yeah.
Oh, hold on.
Oh yeah.
Upset alert.
Oh yeah. Not really enough to do. This Commander's offense is going to be legit. You forget Eric Bieniemy there. The offense is going to be
Yeah,
legit.
scary Terry. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's going to be legit.
I'm going Seahawks in that game.
You can, and that's fine. Yeah, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not even hating on you for that. But I'm going Commanders. You move to 5-5, clean slate. Season starts again almost. You pick up one more L on the season so far because you got to play Vanilla Vic and the Giants again. And you know what?
Sweet.
You're swept. You're 5-6 at this point. But luckily for you, you get to play the Dallas Cowboys that next week, and you're going to lose that game because I already picked them to beat you. They're going to clip you that time. So you're 5-7. Still okay. Still in the midst of things, especially in the NFC, as tradition shows, because there's a team in the South, a lot of teams in the South, who's not even going to be as good as you are right now, and I can guarantee it. Um, so moving on here to the next one, Mr. KC, who you got going in this game? 'Cause I didn't even ask you.
It's the Finns versus Commanders. I'm going
I
Finns.
know. He's going Fence. See, I'm going Commanders in this game. I don't think Miami wins this
Mm,
game. They don't have a quarterback at this stage of the season, and luckily for the Commanders, you get the stage 2 wins back to back because you get the Rams right after that to move you to 7-7 on the season. Still in the thick of things, still in
breaks the
contention.
losing streak for me.
Yeah, I understand. And then now we have an upset alert coming up. We have the Washington Commanders beating Aaron and the Jets, moving
No.
on to 8-7. Upset alert. Look, you'll see it. I'm telling you because
No.
this is still Aaron Rodgers, and I already told you where they're going to finish second wild card. And yeah, it's Aaron Rodgers. They're going to drop that one.
Mm.
Moving on here, then you play the 49ers. I believe that in this game here, this will move you to 8-8 on the season. The Niners will find some way to win this game. Maybe it's all on defense that game. Who knows? But it's going to boil you down to 8-8. And then luckily, the last game of the season comes up and you play the Cowboys, who I already said you were going to split with. And that'll move you to 9-8 on the season, which is just good enough to get
And
you a
I have
wild
the
card seat.
9-8. We got a far part of this one. I managed to get 4-13 on this season for the Commanders. This is not
See,
the direction they were
you
trying
treat
to
them
go.
like they're Denver, and not like they weren't
Close.
yeah. I don't know
No,
why you
they
so
are.
down on these Commanders.
I'm not on them this year. I don't see it. I don't like it at all.
They didn't see it last year either, but it
I
happened.
didn't. They did better than I had expected last season as well. I'll admit to you, Crow, that I probably wasn't right on them last season either. But I just that is not a good schedule to be above 500, let alone. I
Nine and
think they
eight.
might
It's a
get
tough
to.
road.
They might sneak like a 6-11 season in, but I feel very good about my 4-13. Very
Okay.
good. I'd bet under on the season. I promise you that much. In between the two of those,
Yeah, that might be the better bet. Maybe safer
which
bet at least.
right. All
But
right.
those Commanders, you never know. Who we got next on the list? Let's go ahead and talk about the Eagles, man. Let's get the
Ooh, the
Eagles out the way.
Super Bowl team. Old Philly.
Yawn,
Old Philly
yawn.
legend. Old
I'm sorry,
Philly
Philly,
cheesesteak.
and the yawning that I'm doing because there's
Yeah,
nothing
I
exciting
mean Philly.
about you besides your
Philly's not really the.
sandwiches.
Philly's one of those cities I don't make fun of. I
I'm
just go
saying like
ahead.
yawn.
I never know when I want to come and visit, and I don't want no problems from
Do you
Philadelphia.
ever really
I,
want to visit?
I want a
And as
cheesesteak
much
from
as,
there, but
but that's it. That's what I'm saying. Only sandwich. I get that
yeah,
passing through. It's just like, no offense, and I love the Patriots, what they're doing. Well, I don't love them. I love Belichick, and I like what they're doing. But I can't even imagine a week in Boston. I would never do it. Like I just something
mm.
in my soul won't allow me to do
It's not.
it.
Boston's
So,
not terrible. It's not bad.
hey, I'm sure Philly ain't all that bad either.
Yeah,
But something in
I
my
feel better
soul
about
ain't good.
Boston than I do uh, the hopeful about Philadelphia. But let's not bash on these poor brotherly loved whatever that's supposed to mean
Huh,
fans.
and I didn't even notice week 1 for y'all. We were sitting here talking about it. Huh. And now we talking about it. Season starting, or I said season starter, season opener, we got the Philadelphia Eagles against the New England Patriots. And I already picked the Patriots to win this game. Eagles
Mm.
Super Bowl hungover. They're distraught still. Good night. Mac Jones and the Patriots take care of business.
Well, I believe as long as the field condition's not slippery, then the Eagles should win this game pretty easily. I'm
Whatever
going
excuse they need.
yeah, yeah. I've heard them all. What's the
Right,
referees? Magically, the
right.
Patriots will have the
Right.
referees as well. So,
Tell them to wear the right cleats for the conditions.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
But give me
So
the Eagles in that one.
got you. I got the Eagles at 0-1 right now. And honestly, you're moving into 0-2. I think you lose to Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson, and the Vikings. The playoff, I mean, the regular season Vikings are not to be trifled with. We know this for a fact. The only thing that worries me about this game is prime time. But Kirk
It is the
Cousins last year, he
time.
he's done well in one primetime game last year. He actually did set an NFL record. So, hey, we'll have
Hey,
to. I'm leaning on that. The greatest comeback in history. We got the Eagles 0-2 losing to the Vikings.
well, if we've learned anything, the last game we've seen of the Vikings was a primetime game, and that was a loss to the Giants. And I
Good
believe they're going to
night.
continue that tradition here of losing in prime time. The
But
Vikings
see,
have regressed this
this is
season.
regular season prime
Yeah,
time
I'm taking regular season primetime Hurts over Kirk
though.
Duggan's at eight
Okay.
fifteen.
Got you. Well, Eagles fans, it's nothing to fret though, because you got at least 3 wins in a row coming. You get to play the Buccaneers September 25th, and I'm sure it's a consensus between us two that they win that game and moving them to 1-2 on my list. Then you move on to beat the Commanders the next week, which I already said you would, moving you to 2-2. And then after that, you get to play the Rams, which will move you on to 3-2 on the season. So
I think
a
I
quick and immediate turnaround for you.
yeah, I don't know why I had you at I think I'm marching one too many wins.
Yeah, no, they only got 3 wins on the season.
Yeah.
Bucks, Commanders, and Rams so far. And this is a sticky one. You get to play Ron and the Jets, Jalen. And honestly, who wins this game, man?
This is a tough one. This is
I
the
think
first tough choice in my opinion.
matter of fact, I think I went with the Eagles in this game. I think this was the Jets' first loss that I picked. I have to go back and see, but I like the Eagles in this game. That'll move them on up to 4-2 on the season.
And I have them currently 6-0.
Ooh, see, I got them moving to 5-2 the next week when they play the Dolphins.
And I have them as the first loss of the season
Of course
versus
he
the
does.
Miami Dolphins.
Ooh, incredible.
Hey, I got to give
uh,
them a loss eventually, right? I feel like
I can't understand. You hire on Miami, then you're on Washington. They finished with the same record, but luckily the
well,
AFC East wasn't as good as the NFC, and the Commanders couldn't get in while they was able to squeak in. But anyway, another story. We got the Commanders Eagles again. I already said they were getting swept. Commanders, you're swept. There's no doubt about it. Sweep season. They move
yep.
on to 6-2 on the season. The Eagles are flying, and then they fly right into Dallas. And I believe I said they were going to split with Dallas, but I think I had them winning the second game. So you're going to lose this game, Philadelphia, because you're going on a little losing streak. You're going to end up 6-4 at the end of the stretch because after that you got to play your daddy, the owner of the Philadelphia Eagles West, the Andy Reid, who's never lost to the Eagles since he's left. By the way, BTW. Every time the Eagles come to town or we go there, it's always a dub because he owns them. So there's that. You're 6-4 on the season, Mr. KC. Where do you have them?
6-4. I currently have them at 9-2 after
Ooh,
losing to the Kansas City Chiefs.
okay. Moving on. They pick up another win, moving on to 7-4, beating the Buffalo Bills. And then you got a hard task ahead of you, which I think will come ahead, and you lose that game when you play the San Francisco 49ers. And that game, I don't really care who plays quarterback, 'cause I believe that the defense is enough to beat this Eagles team, let alone shut Jalen Hurts down. So the Eagles move to 7-5. Mr. KC, who you got?
I'm also going to choose the Niners, but I would note that if we've learned anything, the Niners defense was not enough to shut down the Eagles by
Well, that was
themselves.
last year. That was
Yeah,
last
because
year.
we seen them try that method, and it was not pretty.
Hmm. Yeah, that was last year though. We're not worried
Yeah, it
about that.
was last year. And they'll have a quarterback December 3rd.
Right. And moving on, you take your another L in a row here. You lose to the Cowboys. This is your split, like I said. Just unfortunate, but it's just kind of what it is here. And next here, you win a shootout, a game that you probably really should lose, but you beat Geno Smith and the Seahawks, getting you your eighth win on the season. And I think Mr. KC is probably going to go with the Eagles in this one too here.
Yeah, I'm going Eagles as well with that one.
Gotcha. And this is where I believe is the hardest stretch of your schedule here because you got to play Vanilla Vic and the Giants, and I believe you lose this game. The Giants out for blood. They know. Remember what you did to them last year. Your defense ain't quite the same as it was last year. Even though you got some really good draft picks, but then again, are you going to act like they're going to be rookies that playing for Kansas City? You're going to trust them that much to do what our boys did? Or you're going to lose this game. And I'm pretty sure you're going to lose this game. I'm going Vanilla Vic and the Giants moving the Eagles to, for me, it's what now, 8-7 on the season.
Yeah,
Whew.
yeah.
But
And
luckily, you get a bye week the next week because you get to play
right,
the Arizona Cardinals. That'll move you right on to 9-7.
yeah. And I'm there with you. I'm gonna split the Giants games. I think the Eagles win the first one, but lose the second one to end the season. And with that bye week in between with the Cardinals.
Gotcha. See, I got them winning the last one. I think they'll probably split with the Giants, and that'll move them to the same as Dallas, 10-7 on the season.
Yeah, and think I have them same as Dallas at 12-5. So we both
What are the chances of that, dude?
right. Yeah, that is pretty
Well,
wild.
we see them the same, except for certain situations. Look, like I said, I mean, we'll have to see what's going on with the Eagles. Like I said, this schedule's considerably harder in my opinion. It's not the cakewalk they had last year, so I'm not looking at the defense like it's the same. I mean, like I said, when you play a whole bunch of bums, you better be the number one defense in the NFL. So this schedule is really going to test their metal. And honestly, I almost want to retract this last one and move them to 9-8, but I really think the Commanders are going to be the only 9-8 team in the division. So I'm gonna leave them at 10-7 because they could honestly lose to the Giants twice.
It could, very well could happen. I would not be terribly surprised.
Mm,
But that leaves one last magical team that someone happens to be a big fan of.
not
That
a
is
big fan, but my eyes are open, folks. I'm unbiased. I do
unbiased.
like
That's
I
what he
do
calls
like the
it.
Giants. I can go on record say that I do like the Giants. I will go on record say that I like them. I was always an Eli Manning fan because he did something Peyton could never do. I feel like Peyton got all the glory, while Eli the one who actually beat the most credible quarterback that you could beat in a Super Bowl. Not
Uh,
once, but twice. Anything Peyton done is,
not
in my opinion,
once,
is
but
nowhere close
twice.
to that. But twice. You beat the greatest twice.
And
If
I
we're at
gotta
dinner,
kind of add that
go ahead. You go ahead.
I do gotta kind of add too that he also got his two wins, his two Super Bowl wins before Manning did, and Manning was in the
Exactly.
league way before.
Exactly.
So
It
kind of
got him out
sketchy.
the mud dude from the wild card spot. Got him out the mud, dude. Like major respect for Eli Manning. I give Eli more credit than most people do, and they should give him more. It's almost disrespectful that he don't get as much. I think he's the first ballot Hall of Famer, but most people
That's
wouldn't
gotta
agree.
be. Yeah, some people call it questionable, and it blows my mind. I'm like, how many people can you say beat Tom Brady twice in the Super Bowl? Like, come on,
Man,
he was the savior of the NFL. If it wasn't
man, he
for
really
freaking
was.
if it wasn't for the Manning's mother, as they like to say, it's unbelievable how many Super Bowl rings Tom Brady might have had.
No, for sure. Like for sure. You can add two already right there. He's already at nine. Imagine if Nick Foles didn't come ready to play. He'd be at 10 of them things. Like, you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
and I think he got knocked out by Peyton Manning like once or twice, I believe
Yeah, a
too.
couple
So
times. Yeah. Joe
it
Flacco got him once, dude. There's some unsung heroes
right.
in that kind of situation,
Well, and if you want to talk about Joe Flacco for just half a second, let's not
Oof.
forget
I regret doing it, but yeah.
Joe Flacco has more playoff wins than Drew Brees. So let's talk about some
That he
underrated
does.
people.
That he does. I won't deny it. And speaking of since we're just talking about it for a moment, I do want to speak about my boy Jimmy G because I always talk about him. There's only two quarterbacks in the NFL that got two NFL championships right now: Patrick Mahomes and Jimmy Garoppolo. That's all I'm gonna say.
Mm,
Bench
well,
or not,
yeah,
ridden or not,
okay,
but look, he's been to three total Super Bowls in his life. Two times a champion, one time a loser. He done took
yeah.
his team to the championship game 3 years in a row, dude. That's if that ain't unsung, dude, I don't know what it is. So, shout out to the guys who are under the under the radar. We got to come up with a segment under the radar shout outs. We got to give it to you.
Well, if we do that, it won't be Jimmy G. We'll start with Vanilla Vic if we're gonna give underrated shout outs.
Oh, oh, we ain't got to. I'm shouting Vanilla Vic. We already know. But
Right.
New York stand up. I will come to New York anytime. Let's do it. Let's go. I know I can get a chopped cheese out there. Give me a nice
Mm,
glizzy, man. All that shit. I mean stuff. Sorry, family. Uh,
mm.
let's start it off. And we starting off with a bang. Week one, like I said, the Giants start off 1-0. They're facing Jerry Jones's Cowgirls, and they move on to 1-0. And actually, if I'm just gonna look at the schedule, we can kind of just move this thing a couple spots. They're 3-0 on the season for me. Week two, ladies and gentlemen,
Whoa,
they got a
whoa!
bye week two. They got a bye week two.
They do have a bye week 2,
So they're
but
2 and
I have
0,
them 1-3 or 1-2.
1 and
Excuse
3.
me.
Ooh, 1 and 2.
Yeah, one and
They're
two.
losing to the Cowboys?
I've got them losing to the Cowboys and the Niners. They have the nice bye week there with the Cardinals,
Good
but give
night.
me the Niners and the Cowboys to start the season.
Ooh. Okay, yeah. I got these Giants 3-0 for sure.
Mm,
Moving
How
on
about
to 4
schedule?
0, playing the Seattle Seahawks. I got Vanilla Vic and the Giants in this game.
I don't.
It's all right. I know you got to do it. You going to hate.
I
Go
like.
ahead. So
I don't
how
want
the
to hate on
Seahawks
the
tell
Giants.
tell me how the Seahawks gonna beat these Giants. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Well, you got Geno Smith, who's comparable level of quarterback as Vanilla Vic. You have
I would
three
say
tall.
Gino is slightly better just because he got the comeback player of the year award. This is
It's
Vidal Vic's
close.
first year under real tutelage, and
Yeah,
look at what he did. This
I
is
would
year
have
two.
trouble. Actually, to be honest with you, I might even lean Daniel Jones just because you've never really seen Daniel Jones with a ton of talent around him. So I don't
Mm,
think it's really fair to say that Gino is just so much better, and he's older too. So I
I said
just feel,
slightly. Yeah, just
yeah,
slightly.
I feel like the ceilings. Vanilla Vic still got a little more potential, possibly.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, without a doubt. But the Seahawks are going to lose this game. I was just wondering where you was getting at that. So, I got them at 4-0 on the season, so you have them at 1-3 then.
Yeah, surprisingly, 1-3.
Ooh, that's
Mm,
insane.
right.
Moving on to week 5, I got them at 5-0, beating the Dolphins. Definitely. The Dolphins gonna run right. I mean, I just don't get it. They're gonna run out of options. The
I,
Giants gonna run it right down their throat. It
I
good
really hope
night.
this doesn't kill their confidence being 1-4. I truly don't. I don't want it to happen.
Yeah, I hope you don't. Yeah, I hope you hope
It,
that you know you hope because they're moving to 6-0. They're playing Buffalo after that. Are you
six.
kidding me?
Oh, I'm gonna go with the win here too, but I
Like
just wanna
what?
shout out the Giants uh, being 6-0 on Beards.
6-0. Are you looking at who they're playing? Do you
Yeah,
not
and that's
remember
how I
what they
have
did
them at
last
two and
year?
four. They have a good team, and this is
And
why
they were
I'm
streaky last
surprised.
year.
I did not expect me to be at 2-4 at
I
this
I,
point in
I
the
sure didn't
season.
because I got them at 6-0, right? Moving to 7-0 because they're gonna beat the Commanders. I already said that.
I'm going with that too.
Goodness
I'm good with
gracious!
that. I believe they sweep the
Now
Commanders.
this is where it gets sticky. I'll give them their first loss of the season to the Jets, to Aaron Rodgers, maybe, if they can figure out a way to stop Vanilla Vic and the Giants. So y'all 7-1 on the season, New York. Like stand up. And then you get another bye week. You play the Raiders. You move to 8-1. Like the schedule is really favorable for them,
Yeah, I think
especially starting off.
it started off rough, but I'm looking at 4-5 right now. You're almost back to 500, so this is kind of a nice turnaround point for them with that Raiders game.
I don't know, because like they're beating the Cowboys again. So that's the sweep.
And it's
And
I'm gonna. Uh,
and I
did they
think they
already play
sweep
the
the
Cowboys?
Commanders too.
Did,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna actually go with the Giants on this one too. I need to take that back because I think they split with the Cowboys. So we'll give the Giants the second win, and then I think they sweep the Commanders. So I'm gonna give them another win there.
And
Look,
I
that's
got them
six
at
and
10 and
four.
1. 10 and
6-4.
1.
You're above
And then
500.
right, I understand. Then they got to play Mac Jones. That's when they get their second loss. They
Mm.
got to play them Patriots.
They win that game. They win
Ooh,
that game.
I think they lose that game, 10-2. Then they move on to the Giants, another one. They move
Or
to
the
11
Packers.
and 2.
The Giants and
Oh
the
yeah, I
Packers.
said the Giants. Yeah, but I meant to say the Packers. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm giving
Michigan.
them a win on that one as well.
And then moving on to the Saints, they get another win, 12-2 on the season.
I agree with that one there.
And then they move on here on over to the Eagles. They'll lose that game, completing the split for them, 12-3. And
Yeah.
then you got the last game. Well, no, then you finish the season with 2 wins. You beat the Rams, and then you beat the Eagles. Like I said, and they split. They're at 14-3, or yeah, fourteen and
14
three on the season for the New York Giants.
and 3. I've got them at 10 and 7, which I feel like is a very strong. I feel like that's like
Oof,
spot on where I would have
that
picked
would have
them.
been that would have been my 3-way with the Eagles and Cowboys if I had them at 10-7. They go 14-3,
14 and 3, and that wins the division for you.
and that wins the division.
And I
I
think
didn't think it. I didn't know their schedule was that easy, dude. Are you looking at their their schedule
the
is pretty light.
the
I'm so
back half,
surprised.
the front half is kind of hard, but the back half does get easy,
I
in
think
my
the front
opinion.
half is easier.
You
That
think
back
the
half
front
is the
half?
loaded half.
That
Yeah,
one
but
and four start is going to be real interesting. I think those first 5 games are going to tell us a
we're
crazy
definitely
amount.
gonna come back to this in the clip. New York fans, make sure y'all there, stand up, because I can see it, dude. They're going 14-3. They're gonna win that bad boy. They're probably they could. The Giants could represent the NFC in the Super Bowl this year. I really think they could. They
It's
got
not
enough. They
impossible.
could have done it last year, like I said, but that juggernaut defense that Philadelphia had that they bought, just like I said, it reminds me of all them teams who go and get them super defenses just to lose in the Super Bowl.
Mm.
So I like the Giants there, ladies and gentlemen. 14-3. Like I said, if you looking at the schedule, dude, yeah, I don't see a many. I can't see it shaking out any other way, unless barring catastrophe.
Yeah, it'll be yeah, and obviously we always try to our method of predicting is assuming everyone's healthy. You
Right,
can never you can't predict injury generally, and nor do I think it's reasonable to, unless it's
right.
like an obvious guy. If you run into like a Tua situation, you
Or
can
McCole
you
Hardman,
or
Clyde
Jimmy
Edwards-Helaire.
Garoppolo or
Right. Yeah.
yeah,
Any of those. Even I almost even want to say recently say DK Metcalf. Even though like if
possibly
you run into these kind of situations, Keenan Allen for sure.
Michael
Then
Thomas.
dude,
Yeah.
Lord, dude, goodness gracious. So in those kind of situations, it's fair. But in these kind of situations, where all these teams remain relatively healthy, Saquon might be the only dude missing, and we'll see. But last year he proved he could stay healthy, so we'll see.
Right. And
First
I
time in a
believe
long
the Giants have some solid coaching too. Like I
dude.
think that's very underrated
That's
what
what I'm
Dayball
saying.
is doing up there.
I look at Daniel Jones's progression like I look at the Princes. When you got that Fugazi coach out of there, brought in a guy who knows what he's doing, who knows something about football on the real level, not collegiate, you see
Mm.
dividends are paid, dude. He transformed that Giants team overnight, the same way Doug Peterson transformed the Jags overnight.
It
Both
does
of them
make a
divisional playoff losers, but divisional playoffs in itself. Losing to the teams who eventually go on to the dance. So it's not far fetched in my mind to think that these teams are almost runner up, at least in
yeah.
contention for the top three in the division. I mean, in the conference, they got to be in the conversation.
And I think we gotta if we're looking at this division, this is another tough close one with a lot of
Yeah,
wins.
it's
What?
tight.
Yeah, this is I'm glad we have it easy in the AFC West.
Yeah,
We've only got one team that kind of competes, and it makes it a
we
little
really
easier.
don't, but I mean, for the sake of conversation, yeah. But our the disparity is you. That's the right word to use. Despair. We have a despair gap because
Mm,
these other teams know they can't fill that gap. As long as Patrick Mahomes is live and playing quarterback, you can kiss it goodbye. And I can go on record saying that and thoroughly believe it because the proof is in the pudding. I can't
yeah,
remember the last time we lost a division. If we lost the division now, it would be shocking. I'm like, what? We didn't win the division, but
right.
it don't even sound right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my son actually is a second grader and has never seen the Chiefs lose a
Exactly.
division.
My
Like, I
daughter,
just,
6 years old, never seen a losing Chiefs season. Don't know what wouldn't even know what not going to the playoffs is. When she was born, we was winning the Super Bowl. She was already, I'm like saying, so she was already here when we won the first, not our first Super Bowl in our time. But she already
right.
two-time champion
Mm,
already, twice
These
over.
children, these children are spoiled. They just don't know
Spoiled,
what they don't
spoiled.
know. We had to walk uphill both ways to get that Super Bowl. Like, it
I'm
was
trying to
not
tell
easy.
you.
It was a long journey.
And you just born into excellence. But hey,
Right.
they're supposed to have it easier than we did anyway, I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose. It was
they
real
don't they
rough.
don't need to have that stress, that old stress of Chiefs fandom. Now you just get to relax and bask in all the victory and all the Whataburger and everything else Patrick Mahomes is bringing to our city. Like,
Mm.
goodness
Well, I'm not a
gracious.
Whataburger fan, so I'm not.
Me neither. I'm just saying
Uh,
he's bringing
uh,
stuff. He's bringing them
yeah,
out.
it is nice to just
He,
bring it stuff.
we'll have a basketball team here soon if he got anything to do with it. And I can't wait because I'm at every basketball game. You trust and believe. I'm a thorough fan. I'm a fan of this basketball team like I've been a Chiefs fan for 30 years. I'm 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 gonna act like that basketball team been around 50 years. I'm gonna be such a fan. I'm like,
Mm.
boy, don't you know about
Don't you know?
it? Don't you know? I'm trying to tell you, dude. It's a wrap after that.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing that could get me away from the Sonics. I believe is if maybe if Kansas City also got a franchise.
Yeah, you would have to.
Mm.
Your blood demands it.
Well, actually, if the Sonics came back and Kansas City came back
It
at the
came
same
to
time,
Kansas City Sonics. What
no,
if the
no,
Sonics come to Kansas City?
no, that doesn't make mathematical
Yeah, dude.
name
What do you
sense.
mean? Yeah,
You'd have to
dude.
call it the Kansas City Kings or something like out of
Well, they
East
already was
Sacramento.
calling them. I forgot what the little sample picture said. I was seeing it on the internet of what they thought they would call them, and the color was gold and some other stuff. You can't bring the Kings back because they're already in Sacramento. We gotta let that go.
No, we can just take them out of Sacramento. They ain't really doing anything out there, anyways.
They're better than what they have been, though.
Mm,
But you're right; they haven't really done anything. So there's that.
right.
Uh, what were they trying to call them? Kansas City. Of course, I won't be able to find it while I'm looking for. You know how that goes. But as soon as we're done talking about it, it'll pop up 40 times. Uh,
Exactly.
but no, though, if Kansas City gets a basketball team, though, it'll just do what it already has done for us. It'll just make us really a mecca of sports. It'll really make us the metropolis at this point. We got the winningest franchise in football within recent memory. Um, Baseball hasn't been bad, but hasn't been good either in recent memory, but still within the last 10 years a champion. Soccer, pretty much that thing's been on lock, hit and miss, but dude, so many titles. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're really a championship city at this point.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And there's never nothing to sleep on Kansas City, I'd say.
No. And that's the homer in me. But look, man, like I always say, if you think your team is better, I hope they win. And that's it.
Mm,
As soon as that, all you got to do is win. I'll be quiet. Cause trust me, I've taken so many L's. I know how to take them humbly. But when I
yeah, as a
win,
Chiefs
you
fan, we
best
know.
believe, right? You best believe that these wins are belligerent and they're loud.
Right. 'Cause we were bad for a long time.
Oh, for a long time,
Long
for
time.
all of my life.
Right.
Like I said, we didn't start winning until I was already a man twice over.
Mm, mm. That ain't no lie.
And now all I know is winning, so I can't go back.
Mm.
Well,
Well,
ladies and gentlemen, that was the NFC East. Stand up New York. You know I'm riding with y'all. Uh like I said, man, if somebody out there in New York, fans of the show, you want to come on, send us an email, shoot us some comments, let's talk about it. Send us some New York pizza, send us some of them hot dogs, man. Let's get a taste of the land. Holler at us. Mr. KC, you got anything else for the folk?
well, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe if you made it this far. And if you look at the ticker down below, it has the email address and the Twitter address. You can find us on stuff like Facebook as well. We're all around. Uh,
Mhm.
we're getting bold. That's all I can say.
Yeah, and it's growing. It's bold and growing. So we appreciate y'all for helping us dig this dirt, farm this thing out. Because without y'all, like I said, we wouldn't even be doing it because there'd be no point. So we appreciate you. We love you. We're going to see you next week for the next show. We might see you Saturday for a special show. So keep your notifications on and be ready.
Yes, sir.
Peace, family.